What is up, everyone? It's Kanan,
It's Jessie.
and we are the Geeky Saying Couple, and we are back with another RWBY Volume 9 video. This is pretty much going to be our main discussion video for Volume 9. We did the one for RTX, but a couple of other panels have happened since then. Today was the San Diego Comic-Con panel, so we're going to go a little bit more into detail of some of the things that have been said for Volume 9, what we think maybe the structure of Volume 9, how things are going to go, some little character things that may happen. Plus, at the end, we are going to have our top 5 hopes for Volume 9, stuff that we hope happens or predicts going to happen from the beginning of Volume 9 to the end. So, we're going to start off with how everyone on RWBY is saying this is going to be a different volume. Like, this volume is going to hit differently than most volumes. So, first thing that enters my mind is it's going to be it's going to be one of those volumes where things get brought, that get turned upside down on their head. Since we're in a different realm, I immediately think of that episode of Book 2 from Korra where she saw the story of Wan, the first Avatar. Like, we're just going to get this kaleidoscope show for an entire volume. Like, it's just going to, like, to the point where you're going to be like, man, was RWBY on some stuff when they made this volume? I don't know. I just have a feeling that it is going to be one of those volumes where it's that kind of season where characters go through a portal and they learn all this world stuff. Like, I definitely think we're going to get some new lore. We're going to learn, like, pretty much a whole entire volume worth of stuff, like The Lost Fable in Volume 6, where we learned about Salem and Ozpin and all that. I don't really know how else to explain it. It's just going to be weird. It's going to be weird. It's going to be one of those things. Like,
They may actually learn some things that they need to know about, like, defeating Salem.
yeah.
So, because that could be, since if these worlds are really linked, like we think they are, which the way it's looking anyway, it's stuff about this world probably would have some at least clues to what's needed.
It's going to kind of be like, you know, the heroes going on a transcended journey in a way, and along the way they learn what they need. Now, yes, Salem is immortal, but that doesn't mean you can't beat her. Plus, they did that little thing in Volume 7, you know, they said Ozpin couldn't beat her, but maybe someone else can, and the camera panned to RWBY when that was said. So, I don't know. I have a feeling they're going to pull some Deus Ex Machina thing, and like they're going to find this weapon that can defy the power of the gods or something, and that'll be able to mortally wound Salem. I don't know. They probably won't find it in Volume 9, but eventually they'll find something. I don't know. I just have a feeling that this volume, when they say a different volume, it's going to be something did not expect to see in RWBY, and that's like an Alice in Wonderland like journey, you know, just seeing all this weird stuff and learning all this weird stuff. Who knows?
Which Alice in Wonderland would definitely be a fairy tale that hasn't been done yet.
Yeah,
so.
for sure. So, yeah, that's...
big shells and stuff kind of add to that.
So, yeah, that's kind of our thoughts on this whole... It being said, it's going to be a different volume. It's going to be a very fantasy volume, in a way. Now, let's talk on the subject of them saying in the past that Volume 9 is going to be a shorter volume. So, we don't know if that means episode length or chapter length. Now, with the story that I feel that has to be told in Volume 9, I just don't think it's going to be shorter chapters. What I mean is, I don't think we're going to go from 14 chapters to 8 chapters, if you know what I mean. Yeah. I don't think I think we'll still see the standard 12 to 13 chapters, maybe. But that could mean the episodes are going to be shorter compared to Volume 8. Because let's admit it, Volume 8 is the longest volume of the entire series, I believe. Each episode was around 20 minutes long. That's long for RWBY.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be the episode length compared to like 8. So
yeah. So here's the question though: with shorter episodes, are they going to be able to tell the story they want to tell in one volume before they go to Vacuo? Could RWBY throw us for a loop, and Team RWBY still not be out at the end of Volume 9?
it's possible. I mean, them coming out may be
Something in Volume
the
10.
beginning of Volume 10.
Yeah.
But I think that as far as Volume 9, when we reach the end, they could probably be right there to getting out.
Mm-hmm.
But 10 would be when they find the others.
What I would like to see, it's pure shonen anime stuff when the hero shows up at the last second. Let's say for Team RWBY and Jean and Neo, the events of Volume 9 take place over the course of a good few days, maybe a week. But for Winter and everyone else in Vacuo, it's only been a few minutes, maybe.
Maybe a day.
I
don't know.
Let me tell my theory before we go farther. And they're still under attack from all these Grimm, and they're getting tired. I mean, they're all tired.
In the middle of a sandstorm.
Yeah, and I think even Winter would have her limits at this point because of all she thinks her sister's dead, all that's happened and all that. And right when the Grimm are about to overtake them, RWBY and them pop out of a portal and save them, using all these new skills and all that they learned while in this other world. Is it going to happen? Probably not. Like I said, it's very shonen. It's very Goku landing on Namek at the right exact moment, like he did and all that. But
I do think that there is going to be
a difference.
The time difference, because
I don't think it's going to be as hardcore as some people think. Like a minute in the original world is like a month in the world that they're in. I don't think it's going to be that drastic.
No, and that's why when in our last video I talked about, in one of my books, it's kind of similar to, now that I actually remember the correct word, the L fame of the Fairy Queen in the book, where Mercy was there for like months. She felt it was longer than that, but it had only been a shorter time outside. So, but I don't think it's going to be that drastic.
I don't know. I think it'd be kind of funny if, since Yang fell first, that she's been there a bit longer than the others when they find her, just so Aaron's dream of Blow-Canut can be real.
Okay.
They find Yang, and her hair is like almost down to her feet, and she's wearing like palm tree petals and all that as clothes because her other clothes ratted out and got too dirty.
I don't think it's going to be that extreme.
And she's talking to the coconut like it's Blake, kind of like Tom Hanks in Castaway with Wilson.
I don't think we're going to go that far.
I don't think so either, but it would be funny. It really would. But that's really...
It'd be,
I can't really think of why else how they'll probably put it in Chibi if they honor Aaron's wishes of it being canon somehow.
I think, the thing is I don't think it'd be that drastic of a time difference from Yang falling to the others, because remember that walkway was pretty much it was a void pretty much.
It seemed longer for us because it was separating the two episodes. I really don't think the time between Yang falling and RWBY and Blake falling was that much different.
If there is any time difference, maybe like an hour,
maybe,
like from when Yang fell to the others. That's not how long the fight took, but I meant like from Yang falling through, it could have been an hour before the others fell through, because depending on how the time works in that world.
But yeah, as far as this whole shorter volume thing goes, I think it won't be episode like a chapter, like number of chapters. I think the episodes will just be shorter compared to volume 8 and 7, because 8 was a long one. Like, really, if you add up the length of the entire volume together, it is way longer than any of the other volumes.
Yeah.
So I think that's what they meant, that it's going to be a shorter volume compared to 8. But we'll see. Like, we don't even have an air date yet for chapter 1. So we'll see.
I do think like the idea of them, at least their side, getting to like where they're gonna come out, but it would extend into 10, which would make sense though, because carrying it on into that one, you'd start seeing more of the other side at first, and then they'd show up. So, I mean, they could get out and they still don't see the others.
Yeah.
So, I think that's another huge possibility.
Yeah. Alright, so it has been said that this volume will have more character interactions, which is always good. A lot of people have felt like since volume 7, things have just been boom, 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 and like the characters, like, a lot of people have criticized that the character interactions have went down significantly, but, I think that's mostly because besides the time skip, in Volume 7, which is where Arafel takes place, the last half of Volume 7 and all of Volume 8 are literally 3 days, I think. And plus, a lot had to happen in Volume 7 to set up for Volume 8. Because, we literally saw the destruction of Atlas in these 2 volumes. So a lot had to happen, so I guess the character interactions kind of had to go down a little bit. I mean, we still had them, but, a lot of people have said that, there needs to be a point where, the characters sit down and just discuss things, in a way. This volume, I think it's going to make more sense because they've got to figure out what to do. How are we going to get out of here, And, I still, as far as interactions go, what is Neo's role in all of this? Like, and
I still think it's definitely linked to her finding out more of the truth that it's not RWBY that she needs to be after.
Yeah. I don't know.
I really feel that that's definitely a huge part of it.
Yeah. I mean, of course, when I hear character interactions, that automatically jumps to Blake and Yang, of course. But, a lot of people have said that, RWBY and Weiss have barely talked to each other since Volume 6 and all that, so maybe some more.
I think it's also going to be just an all-around.
Yeah.
Because all of them, especially since, again, of course, over 3 days, and, the limited time where I had to pack so much in, they didn't have much time to do that. They didn't have any time to even just talk to each other. I mean, yeah, in the Schnee Manor they did a little bit, but with everything going on, everyone was just silent to themselves because of so much going on, which is a natural reaction. I mean, you're thinking over everything to yourself.
And speaking of character interactions, you believe that we are going to see some of the Vacuo crew, like Winter and all them, at least they're
bits
doing.
And pieces, yes.
My question is, what's going to happen with Crow and Robin and what's left of the Aesops, who are still, as we know right now, floating on what's left of hovering over what's left of Atlas? Where is Crow and Robin and them going to go? How are they going to get the news that RWBY and the others are believed dead and everyone else is in Vacuo? Like, I don't know if the communicators they've got in their ears will reach that far. And there's also Pietro and Maria, who are still coming down out of orbit, who, as far as we know, doesn't even know that Atlas is gone, because we haven't seen them since, chapter 5, I think it was, of Volume 8, so...
That'd probably be the next, if anything, that'd probably be the next place they go, is, because,
Well, Crow's gonna be like, God, I've got to get a hold of Ty, and maybe he would tell Raven as well, but, then he'd be like, well, Raven's not gonna care either way, but, as far as he knows, but, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen there.
The thing is at least somebody would know to try to contact, Pietro and Maria, because everyone saw the broadcast, so like they know it went up, so they would know that obviously they've got to be somewhere.
Yeah, but
if it didn't come back down, they've got to still be up there.
Oh, I thought you were talking about. Okay, never mind. You confused me there.
No, but, yeah, like so Crow would think of something because he.
Well, I'm sure they're going to come. Like, well, here's the thing though. When we last saw Pietro, he was talking about where they were going to, end up coming down, but they didn't tell us where they're going to come down at. So.
For all we know, that damn thing can come down and just float in the damn water.
Yeah. If it like we don't even know if it's going to come right down over Atlas like they did, because it made it like they made it seem dramatic, like we're going to end up at, and they never told us. So I'm like, where are they going to end up coming out of the atmosphere from?
Which I think that's probably another thing that we'll see a glimpse of through in the volume, because that was left open ended for another episode, so obviously it wasn't going to happen, and it obviously didn't happen in 8, so it's going to have to be in 9, because that'd be a significant thing.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know if the earpieces that Crow, Robin, and the Aesops have could get a hold of Winter, who is now in Vacuo. I don't know if, I highly doubt they reach that far from continent to continent. So, I don't know what Crow's and them's next move will be. I really think Robin's going to have her hands full trying to keep Crow from going back to the deep end, because not only has he been still kind of mourning Clover this whole time, but now he thinks his 2 nieces are dead. So Crow is probably going to go... I really hope... I don't know. Crow is definitely going to go through a rough patch.
It's going to be... For him, though, I believe it's going to be obviously a test. Like... to even not let himself fall back to what happened.
Yeah.
So, I really think that it's going to show more strength for him. So, this is probably going to be a more strengthening thing for himself.
But Robin could also be going through something too, because as far as she knows, Fiona and the others are dead. We've got what's left of the Aesops, them dealing with Vine, now they've lost Vine, so how are they going to... So I
think there's going to be something where they're all going to need each other at this point.
So yeah, we've probably got a ton of character interactions to go on through, if they include everybody.
Especially now that... Since we, the way we talked about it and called it was... Harriet was the last one to pretty much explode. Because it led up to that, so now she's going to be the one that's dealing with the biggest bulk of it so far, since hers is the newest to, finally let go of that. So, they're all a mess right now.
And then you've got Ren and Nora who think Jean is dead, who's going to think Jean's dead. It's going to be a rough volume. I have a feeling in terms of character interactions for some. Okay, so now we're going to move on to what some have said about Volume 9. Some of this goes back to RTX. Another one goes to the recent Galaxy panel they had, and then a little bit of some stuff that was said at San Diego Comic-Con. A lot of RWBY fans were disappointed in the San Diego one because they just didn't really show anything new, but they're still working on it, so I really didn't expect anything new to be shown.
I have a feeling that once they'll pick a con to do...
Well, yeah.
They'll pick some con in the future to announce more of...
Well, I mean, they'll have to. I mean, because it'll show off... They'll probably prepare a trailer, and that'll be when we get the release date. But, yeah, they're going to have to pick some event to give the release date.
Which I'm sure they're probably working on to try to narrow down an event to use.
Yeah.
Because they're going to have to prepare for...
Because I think this is the latest we've ever had that we don't have the... Well...
They're going to have to prepare what voice actors are going to be able to either physically attend or virtually attend something. So that stuff's got to be done in advance. So they're probably still working on figuring it out.
Actually, if I remember correctly, wasn't RTX in August last year? Because I think that's when we posted it, was in August, our reaction to it. So this isn't the latest. So anyway, At RTX, Eddie said that he teared up over something in almost every episode that he saw of Volume 9, but it just wasn't for sad reasons. So I might have to buy you a box of tissues for Volume 9. I don't know. I mean, who knows? I might blubber like a baby at some things. Who knows? But that just tells me that, oh, there's going to be a lot of heartstrings tugged in this volume. And it's going to be multiple episodes. They're going to hit us bam, bam, bam every week. So that's going to be fun. Also at RTX, Carrie said that Volume 9 has some of the most touching moments in the series history. And I'm like, oh boy, that could mean so many things. Like, I definitely think it's gonna be things like maybe with Ren and Nora thinking John's dead, Ruby maybe learning about Penny's death, dead characters that we may see the spirits of, and then of course you want to believe and hope that
theory that I came up with in our last video.
Yeah.
That just hit me on the spot, and it's that, Ruby may learn something about, where Summer is, or the theory that I actually came up with was, I don't know if she'd actually be the Summer Maiden, but the fact is that she could be in this realm. She could have been locked in a vault, and obviously there'd been no way out until someone lets her out. So Summer could be lost in this void.
And then, of course, you've got the hope that Blake and Yang will finally tell each other how they feel, and we will finally get that Bumblebee kiss. And even though it's going to be a very touching moment, please play Bumble. Please play that song, just so everybody that has downed that song because it's not canon, But anyway, then at the Galaxy panel, Barbara said something very interesting. She said there's a line in Volume 9 that she doesn't think she'll ever be happy with the way she performed it, as it's such an important moment for Yang, and she wants to do it justice. And a lot of people pointed out that Aaron looked really smug as Barbara said that, and then went, I'm curious to know which line. So yeah, this is getting into the Bumblebee theorizing again, but
it's little things.
It could
like
be
that
many things. It could be Yang being confronted with how she always puts herself in danger to save others, and how a lot of people have pointed out how she's got these reckless tendencies to put herself in danger to protect others when I don't know,
But it's moments like that when you actually see or hear them actually say things, or even the looks that Aaron gives. It fuels all the theories, but it makes you makes us want Volume 9 faster, because we want to know. We want to be able to see what this all means. So.
Well, I just refuse to believe that RWBY had that moment in Volume 8 of, Blake watching Yang disappear into the void, and
that scream that Aaron had to do.
Her crying, her attempting to pretty much go over herself, and why stopping her. I refuse to believe they did that.
And her rage.
And her rage, trying to get revenge on Neo. I refuse to believe they did all that.
For nothing.
For nothing, for them to find Yang in Volume 9 and just be like, oh, hey, Yang. Oh, hey, Blake. And that's it. I just highly refuse to believe that was for nothing, okay? Even if they don't kiss, at least I'll be happy. Yeah, words. I'll be happy with the head touch again. If they don't want to, but to me, it's the perfect moment. If you have romantic feelings for someone and thought they were dead, the dam is going to break. But we'll have our balloons ready. Let's just hope that we don't look like clowns at the end of it. Now, today at the San Diego Comic-Con, there was some things said. For one, Volume 9, I think Carrie is the one that said this, and it's a pretty bold statement. Volume 9 will become everyone's personal favorite. And it sounds like it's already RWBY's personal favorite. Every single voice actress, Lindsay, Kara, Aaron, Barbara, have all said Volume 9 is their favorite. And now Carrie is saying, oh, it's going to become everyone's personal favorite. That means everyone. Like, he's saying every fan is going to love this volume. Now, of course, we can get into the shipping moment and say, oh my gosh, it's going to be Bumblebee shipper's favorite volume then, you know. Yeah, but
I mean, you can go that far, but
if you're a RWBY fan, if you're a Jean fan, if you're a Neo fan, if you're just a fan of RWBY, this is going to be your personal favorite. You know, if you're a fighting, a fan of the fighting, if you're a fan of the lore, you're a fan of the characters, this is going to universally be your favorite volume. And that's a pretty bold statement for Carrie to say, because I'm sure Carrie, more than anyone, knows of, the certain criticisms that RWBY gets, whether they be, people just blindly hating or it being legit criticisms. Like, going into Volume 7, well, during Volume 7, I personally had a criticism that I think we were introducing way too many characters way too much when they introduced the Aesops. I thought it was going to take away from the main cast, because the main cast still has stuff that needs to be dealt with. But, they ended up handling it very well. But I still sometimes do think RWBY does have way too many characters that have way too many plot lines that are still not handled. But RWBY still has years to go. So it's long-term storytelling. A lot of us are not used to long-term storytelling.
I can understand, that's another thing, I can understand that, there's sometimes we get overwhelmed with characters, but sometimes it's just, even just for a moment, they have to insert something because it's going to lead to something later with that character's story. Yeah. So it's needed, but I mean, they did handle the Aesops really well. Like, it was overwhelming, but they ended up handling it
I think what it is sometimes there's a lot of anime and all that ends within 12 to 24 episodes, so a lot of people are used to short-term storytelling.
But this is different.
Yeah, this is very long-term. Like, there's stuff probably planned that we're not going to see until next year or the year after that and stuff like that. So
there's stuff that I know is planned that we're not going to see for years.
which we talk about more in our retro RWBY series. It's still blocked, but hopefully that'll be up soon. All right, and so also today, this is just a little something funny. Apparently, I forgot if it was like during the Q&A, but somehow it got brought up that people would like to see more behind the scenes stuff. And Erin was all for that because she revealed that she did take some behind the scenes photos during recording for Volume 9. And someone noted that they paid attention to Barbara during this, and Barbara was trying to keep a straight face as Erin brought this up. Now,
because Barb's probably seen them.
Yeah, so of course people jump to reactions to, since this is involving Barbara and Erin, reactions to the Bumblebee kiss. But I mean, knowing how goofy they are, they could have done a lot of things behind the scenes. Like, it could have been anything. Like, it's like,
it could be knowing them, it could be multiple moments. It could be something funny, it could be something serious, like, and they're heartfelt. Like, but knowing Barb's trying to keep a straight face, she obviously has seen these pictures.
Yeah. So I mean, this could be anything. This could be them just goofing off. It could be reactions to big moments, who knows. But I mean, it's not hard for it just to be an in joke between people. Like, if you guys notice, every time I say potato chip dip, yeah, this happens. I've still not told that in joke. I'll wait till something different, because we got a little bit more to go through here. Okay, also, Lindsay said that there is going to be a scene where RWBY goes into the water and will be laughing heartily. So a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, RWBY's going to lose it. It could
start laughing and just fall.
I mean, it could be. Maybe everyone has a bit of hysteria at first and they just have a day at the beach. Like, I don't know.
Well have a moment like that where they're all just...
Well, worrying about it right now is not going to do nothing. Let's just relax for right now and calm our heads. Relax. Let's have a day at the beach.
it makes sense. Relax, calm down, so we have a clear mind to think of what to do next.
So it could be that RWBY could lose it. Who knows? I think
something funny with John.
Yeah, I mean it could be anything. I mean RWBY could be standing there and all of a sudden, and he falls into the water and she just laughs to herself and runs out to help him because who knows? No, have we ever seen John swim? He might not be able to know how to swim knowing John, but
float on a shield.
Yeah, float on the shield. That might be it. RWBY might just chuckle to herself, wade out into the water, and maybe she has to dive for him. I don't know, but that's a few things that have been said about Volume 9. It seems like a lot of stuff to make people worried, a lot of stuff to make people hopeful, and just a lot of stuff that we just got to theorize about. All right, so this portion is going to be our top 5 hopes for Volume 9. Number 5, I don't know if I'll have Jess put a little graphic in front of us, just, like we do some of our list videos. Number 5 is new lore, okay? I love lore. I love studying lore, It comes from, playing RPGs most of my whole life, and you can ask her when I play Dark Souls or Bloodborne, I study every item because that's where you get the lore from. I just hope we get just some new stuff in this, kind of like, once again, The Lost Fable in Volume 6. That was a huge lore dump. I hope we just get something in this that's just like, oh my God.
Thing that I had said about with, hopefully learning some new things that they need to know for Salem would fit into that.
Yeah.
Because it's keys that you would need to...
Yeah, give us stuff that'll make us go, like that.
Something that'll make sense. But I believe that they're going to find keys to what they need to move forward in this.
A secret weapon, maybe, or just some new knowledge that'll go a long way. Who knows? Number 4... I'm usually not on this bandwagon, but I do think it needs to happen because in the hero's journey, there is a breaking point for most heroes, but it leads to growth as a character. And that is, number 4, RWBY hitting her breaking point.
Which she was already starting to hit that
toward the end of Volume 8.
So it would make sense for it to happen. And it could be that point. How her breaking point could lead to that laughing moment.
Yeah.
I mean...
But, having a breaking point sometimes helps in a way. Like, it helps you grow as a person. Because it happens to a lot of characters in storytelling. They hit that breaking point where they just... not lose their mind or anything, but like they have that moment of despair. They have that moment where everything is pointless. This all was a waste of time. They have that good cry. But once they get out of that black hole, it's like they hit the sun. It's like the sun hits them for the first time. They feel that warmth. They have a new resolve. They're stronger. They've changed as a character. And usually when you hit that point, that is when it's after a big defeat. It's after a big L that the villains have at this point won a major battle again. But it always leads to an even bigger victory. So I do think RWBY will hit that point of despair, but I think she will grow and become stronger because of it.
Which the villains have been getting all the...
Yeah, for sure. We had that little bitty victory at Haven, but that was nothing compared to...
The only victory that they have for a win right now is getting everyone...
Yeah.
Out
of Atlas and Mantle.
So, other than that we've not had their wins yet.
Yeah.
So...
Number 3, I call the Shadows of the Past. And this is going with the theory that not only is this new world based off Wonderland, but it's also based off maybe Valhalla, with Asgard and Valhalla and Ragnarok and all that because of that giant tree. We did a video on how this tree may be based off Yggdrasil, the life tree that is the center point of the universe. And all that mythology, and this I still think are the character. If this happens, the characters that they will see will be Ruby will see Penny, which is how she'll learn that Penny is once again gone, and I'm not looking forward to that. I still can't listen to Friend without tearing up, so I I don't want to see it, but it's going to happen either way. She's going to learn, either whether she sees Penny or Jean tells her, which is going to add to her breaking moment. Because I really think knowing that they just freed Penny from her from being a robot to being a real girl and being human, and now she's gone, and the fact that she was human means that she's gone for good. I don't know if there's ever going to be a way for Pietro to rebuild her. And if that happens, he'll probably die. I don't know if Penny is going to stay dead. Well, I don't know what RWBY has planned.
Her core is gone.
Yeah,
like the original one. So
yeah, so she it breaks my heart to say it, but Penny is more than likely gone for good, and it's gonna kill RWBY. It's gonna destroy her for a while. I think Weiss will see Jacques, and that's because even though Jacques is a piece of crap, and she's the one who sent him to jail, there was still a part of Weiss that cared for him, in that she told Winter, make sure Dad gets out.
Yeah, go back for him.
Go back for him. Don't leave him.
Go get him.
Yeah, don't leave him behind. And
she told him that, and you can see the look on his face, like he's pretty much sitting there. After all I've done, she still wants to save me. Yeah,
and we're not saying Jacques was going to change or anything like that, but it was
something that he needed, though.
Yeah, but it was showing what kind of person Weiss has become. Yes. And her seeing him, pretty much meaning that he's dead. I don't know how Weiss will react. I mean, I'm sure there is still a part of her that will be sad, because it's
still her father, regardless of what of an asshole he is.
Yeah, now if he had killed people or something like that, then I could see her not caring at all.
But this could be his moment. If she were to see that, it could be his moment also to be like, regardless of what you think of me, I still actually do love you.
Maybe are you saying like a redemption through death? Maybe.
Yes, I could see. That's maybe how I see. Like, if he were to get a redemption, that's how I see something similar to that happening. Like, in real life, I don't think we would have gotten it. But with him being dead, this could be his thing.
I said if he killed people, maybe she wouldn't care. But I mean, there's been sons and daughters of serial killers who say, yeah, I know they've done all this awful things, but that's still my dad or mom, It depends on the person, because there's also been ones who say, my mother or father are evil. I don't want nothing to do with them, It depends on the person. I don't think Weiss is not that vindictive. Yeah, he was awful. Yeah, he was abusive.
But she didn't want him to die.
Yeah, it's to the point where yeah, they're an awful character, but did they deserve to die? A lot, did I like Jacques? No. But did he deserve to die the way he did? I don't think so. They've confirmed that Ironwood is dead. Did Ironwood deserve to die? He was going to commit genocide on Mantle. I mean, that's not really good. That's not really a redeeming quality to be like, well, did he deserve... I don't know.
Did he deserve to die that way? It's
a gray area. It's a very big gray area. Ironwood was still a villain at the end of the day. He became a villain. Is he a tragic villain? Yes.
Well, here's another thing also. Like, he was pretty much... It kind of made me think of the whole thing as the way he was running it, since, military and all, that Atlas was his ship. He went down with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I didn't really think of it in that context. I mean, yeah, literally with the water and all that. Yeah. But it kind of fit that way. Like, he was running his ship that way, and they always say is if a ship sinks,
the captain
the
goes
captain's
down.
supposed to go down with it. At least back in the day, that's how it was supposed to be. And that's exactly what I thought of. Titanic kind of came into mind for that one, actually, because he locked himself in and went down with it.
Yeah.
He didn't exactly have a choice, but he just...
But yeah, and also keep in mind, this is going with the theory that Summer is not dead. For Blake...
Which I still don't believe.
Now, for Yang, there's no one that's passed yet that would really be shown to Yang. There's really no one that would appear to her that would have been of any significance. A lot of people have said for RWBY and Yang it'd be Summer, but like I said, I still think Carrie and them are being tongue-in-cheek when they say Summer is dead, when we've still not seen a body.
There's been no
we've
confirmed
seen
proof of it. They just say it. They've not confirmed or
no
denied it.
no body, no death. Because we do know that
We learned
her
that quick.
yeah, we do know that her body is not there where her grave is. So I like people are going to say this is because of shipping, but I mean it fits with how their story has went. I think Blake and Yang will experience someone together, and that'll be Adam, because
that was something that they overcame, and it's the way it ended. I mean,
and let's face it, yeah, they're moving on, but that moment in Volume 7 kind of shows that Adam's death is still kind of a shadow over them. So, yeah, I mean, it'd be perfect for them to handle still the trauma of having to take someone's life that is still there. It's not been really touched upon except that moment in Volume 7, but it fits, you know.
There needs, like, because of what's there needs to be some type of closure point there.
Yeah.
Regardless.
And I think that would be a good moment to do it.
Yeah, like confronting the ghost of Adam.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's not going to lead to some other fight, but
No.
obviously at that point, the same thing also with Jacques. I mean, we could have something where he finally, like, says something and it creates that closing point to let things go.
Yeah,
like,
maybe.
I mean, well, I'm not saying, yeah, maybe, but I mean, it would fit for something along those lines.
It'd be something if he still tried to torment him. I'm going to haunt you too, you know? For Jean, I hope. I want to see her again. I want to see her again. I want to see Pyrrha, yes. Maybe her telling him, you got to quit. Don't make me an anchor, maybe. I don't know. I just... Pyrrha, that's all I'm going to say.
I know one thing she'd probably tell him is she's so proud of him.
Yeah. That.
I'll cry.
But to also tell him, you got to quit beating yourself up. You got to quit feeling like... Because you don't make me an anchor, Jean. Don't tie yourself to me forever. Something like that. And then Neo will see Roman, and Roman will finally tell her, Little Red didn't kill me,
As much as we fought, she didn't kill me.
I was eaten by a Grim, if you want to blame anyone, blame Cinder,
Because Cinder's the cause of the Grim.
Yeah.
So, it's...
Well...
Cinder and then to Salem.
Well, yeah, the Grim were there because that was the plan to bring them there, so...
But Cinder was the one that did the plan, so...
Well, technically, I think it was Salem,
well,
but we didn't know that at the time.
Well, she was there releasing it, pretty much.
Yeah.
So,
but here's
really,
the thing,
it
though.
goes back to that.
Here's the thing, though. In Volume 8, Neo kind of acted like she had never heard of Salem before. Salem didn't know who Neo was. So did Roman know about Salem?
Probably not.
So there may be a lot of stuff come out there, but that's only if we see the ghosts of the past.
And we already know that Roman didn't care for Cinder to begin with.
Yeah, so he's going to tell you need to put your parasol into her. All right, number 2, everything is connected to this island. Pretty much the Yggdrasil theory that the tree is the center of this realm. It's what connects everything. It's the center of the universe or whatever. And yeah, I mean, we've went over this a good few times, so I don't think we...
How many realms did you say Asgard has?
Well, not Asgard, but they're not.
I know, but how many realms?
Asgard is one of the realms. There's 9 realms in the original.
Think about it. The
What?
tree, the realms, volume 9.
Eh.
There's 9 realms. I don't know. It's a small thing, but I just kind of thought of that. I was like, well, that'd be kind of funny. I know there's not 9 realms in this. There'd be 4, but it's a play on it. It would be funny.
We'll see. And number 1, of course, we gotta say this because it's one of the major things that people are hoping for and saying is going to happen in Volume 9, and that is the Bumblebee kiss. I mean, I don't know what else we could say. Blake thought Yang was dead. Like, there's no bigger motivation and then to finally let your emotions run wild. Is it when you thought that the person that means the most to you was dead, but they're alive, and with Carrie saying that there's more touching moments in this volume than there has been the entire series, or that some of the most touching moments are in this volume in the series history, and just little things Barbara and Aaron have said.
Others have said.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't even, it's just, yeah.
Like, everyone is saying Volume 9 is the perfect moment. It's the perfect moment for them to have the moment for themselves, kind of like how Ren and Nora did, how Jean and Pyrrha did. Jean and Pyrrha's wasn't as dynamic as Ren and Nora's, but the whole the camera spinning around them and all that. They didn't do it a full circle, but it
was enough to
it was there. It was there. Where with Ren and Nora, it was a complete
yeah
turn around. So it needs to happen this volume. Will it happen? I don't know. Will I be worried about Bumblebee if it doesn't? No, because you just never know what they've got planned. But something's going to happen. Whether it be a kiss, whether it be a declaration, whether it be just
anything,
yeah. Because like we said, a kiss does not have to be the de facto confirmation of romantic feelings. This is not a Disney movie, so yeah.
It'd be nice, but no, it doesn't define and confirm things. Anything can, but it'd be nice.
Yeah,
it just kind of fits.
Yeah, to me, the head touching thing is more than enough, because me and Jess have done that before, but I've never done that with any of my friends.
It's such a significant thing, and usually when we've done it in cosplays, if I've even in any shoot that I've done it, it's the characters have really significant meaning to each other. So
oh boy, this video went longer than I thought it was going to. But, I mean, there's just a lot of information that we have. But, that's it. That's pretty much our discussion for Volume 9 as of, now. Will we do another, we may do another one of these once a few more conventions happen and people,
we have more info,
more information.
Maybe a date.
Maybe when the trailer hits. When the trailer hits, we will definitely do a video, because I'm hoping we get some information in that. But yeah, just gotta pay attention to the conventions, especially the ones that Carrie goes to, because if anyone's gonna drop anything major, it'd be Carrie. But Carrie's very tight-lipped when it comes to spoilers and all that. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, click that like button, leave us a comment. Let us know what you think of our theories, what your theories are for Volume 9, going off of what everyone else has said that are actually, part of RWBY. I'm starving. I don't know about you, but I'm hungry. But as always, guys, this is Kanan.
This is Jessie.
We love you all very, very much. Stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Please help us get to 500 subscribers very, very soon. And we will see you in the next one. Bye.